Hello and welcome to Angela's Busy Bees Garden and Homestead. Guys, I'm coming out on my balcony and want to share with you my first, well, I guess I can call it a failure in the garden so far this spring of 2022. Early in the season, I think it was back in March, I planted some pak choi in my tiered planter that I purchased from the Dollar Tree, and sowed seeds, and they germinated beautifully. And I've placed it here on my balcony, and guys, it is starting to go to seed without even producing anything. And so I'm not going to allow this to sit and wait any longer. I'm going to go on and remove these young seedlings that are going to seed. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant some collards in this area. And among all the vegetables and flowers and herbs that are growing here on my balcony, I chose to place the pak choi here where it would get less sunlight, although it gets ample sun. But because I know that it does not like a lot of heat, and it will go to seed as soon as it gets hot, is the reason why I placed it over here, thinking that this would be a more suitable place for it. But as you can see, it has gone to seed. And so I'm thinking about planting some collards because the collards will grow from now until fall and can probably even remain out here on the balcony over winter, being that it is a cool season vegetable. So what I'm going to do is, because I have 4 tiers here, I'm going to take it tier by tier and replant in this area because this is mid-May. So we still have a lot of time left in the growing season. But before I do that, I'm just going to take you around the balcony garden and just let you see what I have going on, okay? My tree roses are in bloom, and guys, my balcony is off of my bedroom. And the first thing I do in the morning after thanking God for another day is I run to the balcony window, my sliding door, and I just want to come out and just look at all of this. And it has done me so much good to have planted out on my balcony garden the way I did this year, because I am really enjoying it. And I'm finding that this year that my balcony garden is one of my favorites this year. And this was an effort to just see how much food I could grow on my balcony if I had a small space, and also to encourage others who have small spaces or similar space size, and are thinking about whether or not they could grow food on their balcony. Yes, you can. I'm growing lots of food, herbs, vegetables, different flowers that can be turned into teas and what have you. I have herbs, and as you can see here, the tiered planter with my herbs are doing really well. And I come out every day and I just turn my tiered planter so that it'll get adequate sun on all sides. I also have a tomato here. My Texas star hibiscus is getting nice and tall. On the table, I have some Swiss chard here, some green onion I've been harvesting off of, planter with petunias. These are the collards that I'm going to be replacing the pak choi with, and these were purchased from Lowe's because at this late point in the season, I felt it was too late to try to start all over again from seed. So I purchased 2 packs of these, and the pickings were very slim, and a lot of them had damage to the leaves. Some of the slots had nothing in it, but it was all that was left. And with this being middle of May, I don't think they're going to get many more in. So I had to take, what I could. And I'm also going to be adding some marigolds in my tiered planter as well. Here I have a tree collard that I received from Pat G. Smith when I visited her in Mobile, Alabama. And it is finally starting to grow. Let me pull these weeds out of here. And then over here are some red giant mustards. And it's usually placed on the edge of the table around in this area. But because I'm going to be taking my tiered planter apart one by one to plant in it, I just pushed it over to the side. But just to give you an idea, guys, of what all I have growing here on my balcony, I have an aloe vera over there, some more flowers, another tomato, some rosemary. Here is my elderberry, and also I have my moringa. And both of these I think I'm going to take down where it can get much bigger. And of course I have a tiger lily. In fact, I think I have two of them are getting ready to set blooms in a couple of days. Okay, so let me get started with taking this tier planter apart, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I have my collards all planted in, and I've added some marigolds to different parts of the planter. And guys, I have some lettuce I need to harvest. My spinach here look like it's going to seed, so I need to harvest those leaves as well. When it starts getting leggy like this, it's getting ready to go to seed. Here's some peppermint. I can probably begin harvesting from it. The spearmint as well can be harvested. Look at my black-seeded Simpson lettuce. And there's more spearmint there in the back and more black-seeded Simpson lettuce there. We've been harvesting strawberries. The potatoes back there are doing really well. And I harvested kale recently. I could probably come and get a few more leaves from here. And again, here's another spinach plant. Let me get this weed out that I need to go on and harvest from as well. I can harvest from some of the herbs. I've got parsley here that can be harvested. Some sage. Look how beautiful that sage is. Oregano and some other things all over. Thyme over there, how it's growing beautifully. And then look at this gourmet lettuce here, guys. So because this is the heat of the day, I'm going to wait until later in the evening and harvest from my veggies here. And then I'll give it a little 511 or my fish emulsion fertilizer, which is always good to do after you have a big harvest of your vegetables. Just give it a little something to get it going. And then also, guys, I need to harvest again from this Swiss chard. And as you can see, it is growing beautifully. This white powder that you see on here, this is just some garden dust because I was beginning to see little bites here and there. And so I grabbed the first thing that I had out here was the garden dust, but I didn't sprinkle a whole lot. So I'm going to harvest from it. And as you can see, that pak choi, it really does not like the heat at all. I'm even thinking that planting it in March, it might be a little bit late. I probably need to start maybe in February next time around in planting it, or wait until late fall to plant again, if even I have a fall garden. My goal is to plant as much as I can during the growing season and then be able to put away enough food so that I can give myself a break during those months in which, it's cold. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you all are also having a wonderful day in your growing area. I'm in Tennessee, growing zone 7A, and I want to thank you for joining me today and wish you all a blessed day. Thank you so much. Bye bye.